kind of saw Rhaenyra's reaction.
Yeah,
honestly.
the way she broke down there. Yeah, the silence in that scene was super powerful. Yep,
Yeah.
I feel like she kind of killed the acting right there.
Yeah, everything with Game of Thrones too. Just their acting's always like
Yeah, I know.
top
They
notch.
find these
Yep.
actors I've never seen before, and they're just God tiering the roles every
Yep.
time. Alrighty, boys, another Sunday has passed. Another House of the Dragon Season 3 episode. Episode 2 is here. What was your guys' initial thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was a good episode, especially after the intro, this episode 1, the Battle of the Gullet there.
Yep.
Everything that happened in that, kind of seeing what's happening next here. So,
Yeah, such an action-packed kickoff to the season. I figured this episode would kind of take a step back from all the action, and it would be more slower paced and more kind of story building.
This episode, you mean?
Yeah. For episode 2, I figured they'd kind of take a step back since it was so action-packed for episode 1. I figured they'd slow it down a little bit this episode and have more commentary in there to kind of do some story building for season 2, which they definitely did. It picked up pace towards the end, but there wasn't like a whole lot of action, not like a huge battle scene or anything until obviously the very ending.
There definitely was some action though. Obviously, like Vagar with Harrenhal and everything. Then saw a couple other like kind of fighting happening. Nothing like huge battles, but,
right?
Yeah,
That was just kind of aiming aura farming, just walking through Harrenhal, just slicing necks. All right, so let's kind of get into spoilers now. What was kind of the main plot of the episode? Where did we start off again?
Yep. So we started with Bela returning to Dragonstone with Jace's body.
Yep. We figured it was going to kind of kick off there. But obviously, the big reveal was going to be to Rhaenyra that Jace had obviously died.
Yeah.
And so I figured that was going to be Bela returning to Dragonstone. We were kind of predicting that the episode would kick off with that, where Bela would be the one flying back to kind of break the news.
Yep, and kind of saw Rhaenyra's reaction.
Yeah,
honestly.
the way she broke down there. Yeah, the silence in that scene was super powerful.
Yeah.
Yep, I feel like she kind of killed the acting right there.
Yeah, everything with Game of Thrones too. Just their acting's always like
Yeah, I
top
know. They
notch.
find these actors I've never seen before, and they're just God tiering the roles every time.
Then we also had like the search for Corlys, so it showed like Alan.
Yeah, that it continued. Yeah, that's
Bela.
kind of crazy to me. They didn't have I guess most of their fighters kind of perished, but even you kind of said that, Sean, where they only had like one boat out as a search party. They were trying to find their king, but they only had like one small boat out rowing around.
Because it showed the dragons were hitting both sides, like in episode 1. So yeah, they were taking both out.
Yeah.
But they ended up rescuing him. Yeah, he was found. So yeah, with Alan, Adam, and Bela, they were all kind of searching the wreckage there.
Well, yeah, because Adam kind of flew over and found him. Adam was flying on his dragon, and he found him.
Then
he kind of just washed up like he swam up to the shore.
Yeah.
So, which people were, I did see people making the prediction that they thought he would just be dead. Like maybe they would just find his dead body somewhere. But nope, he survived. So he's got more of a role to play here, which I figured, because I figured we're going to see the Valerians just get destroyed by the end of this series. Like, I don't know how it's going to happen, obviously.
Yeah.
But obviously, that's a house that doesn't even exist in the Game of Thrones era.
Never mentioned or anything. Yeah.
So, and obviously, they reside right there off the coast of Dragonstone. So they reside like literally on the other island right by Dragonstone.
But remember in Game of Thrones, like Stannis was there early, right? Like in Dragonstone.
He had Dragonstone.
So no one was really there
because nobody occupied it, because they thought all the Targaryens were gone.
Yeah.
Which technically they all were, besides like Daenerys and she was
yeah.
over in Essos. Yeah, because they always talk about like the doom of old Valyria, but I don't think that's necessarily anything to do with the Valerians.
I don't think so. And then obviously like the Iron Fleet and stuff, that was with the Greyjoys.
Yeah,
like
that's like the Iron Islands. Yeah.
So, because like the Valerians, I think they were like
they
the
were
snake.
the strongest fleet. Yep, that's why the Targaryens kind of partnered with them, because they like ruled the sky with the dragons and ruled the sea with the Valerians fleet. So yeah, a lot of commentary, a lot of dialogue, especially the first like half of the episode. Doesn't really pick up with any action until Aemond arrives at Harrenhal.
Yeah,
which he obviously kind of fell for the bait. We saw that in episode 1. Alicent was like, you need to go to Harrenhal, so he went there, and then we saw Christian Cole. Him and his whole crew were still stationed in the woods waiting for the signal of Aemon to fly over. And then right when they saw him, they were like, to Harrenhal. So
there's shots of Vagar too, just flying overhead.
Yeah, I know, literally. Yep, the Boeing 767 of dragons.
Simon Strong, that's it.
Yep.
Simon Strong of those two like sons that were there.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting scene too, because I didn't expect Aemon. I figured he was too slick for that, to just get stabbed by one of those sons
in the back.
Yeah, it seemed like they were completely defenseless, and then he just stabbed himself in the back. But it seemed like his adrenaline was going, because he didn't even realize he got stabbed until he saw the witch there.
Yep.
And right when he saw her and he realized that he had gotten stabbed and was kind of bleeding out, I was like, oh man, I feel like she's gonna help him in some sort of way.
That's what I think is gonna happen. Like she's gonna heal him or do something with him. Like she's
gonna cast some kind of spell to heal him. I didn't expect Aemon to kind of plead for help like that, but yeah.
Got those scenes of Vagar, like I said before. Yeah, those were him just going in there wrecking house.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, just clears house by himself.
Because they have no
like literally
defense against that. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I think also too he fell for the fake out because he expected Damon to be there.
Yeah.
Because that's what he was wanting as soon as he busted into their
And
like
Allison
small
told him
council
that.
room. Yeah.
She's
He
like,
was
go
like,
to
I'm looking for
Harrenhal.
Damon.
Then we kind of saw that Allison throughout the episode with that Jasper, like the guy from the small council there.
Yep.
He was like about to, because he knew Allison was making those plans behind their back with like
Right.
Rhaenyra and everything. So yeah, he was like going in there
Yeah,
trying
he
to
was
like
onto it. Yeah, he was onto their plans. Yep, for sure. He knew something was up. It was weird to me when they busted in the room. The Maester with was it the Kingsguard was in the room? He
Soren or
he expected them to kind of turn on her like it was a treasonous act, but yeah, they just obviously didn't buy it, so they took him out of there. So yep, that wasn't a good look for him.
Also, Aegon, we saw him and Larys.
Yeah,
were
he's still in that
cart.
Yeah, he's still in the Raven cart, still traveling, and he's I think he's going to find his dragon. Is what he's attempting to do.
Apparently, it sounded like they were going to Dragonstone. That's what Larys was wanting to do, or
well, I think that's their final destination because he said like it'll take us forever to arrive at Dragonstone at this rate. So yeah, obviously, I think his dragon is still alive. I think he's going to find his dragon just damaged.
Yeah, that's the last we saw of it. Then I feel like Larys still has a plan or something. Like
yeah, he's like one of those little finger of Varys type characters. He's always got something up his sleeve.
Yep.
So yeah, master of whispers.
And then towards the beginning again with Rhaena when she went to the Vale to see that Aaron girl. Yeah, she was like, let me like live here and kind of like what she said, kind of hide her.
Yeah. And we were debating on the episode too if Bela knew that Rhaena was flying Sheep Stealer during that whole battle.
I don't think so.
I feel like there was a shot in episode
Jace
1.
knew.
I'd have to see it again, but I feel like there was a shot in episode 1 where Bela was over top of Sheep Stealer and she was about to
I thought that was Rhaena because she was like, no, my sister.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to kind of see how that all broke down again, but I thought she was about to do a whole Dracarys on Rhaena and Sheep Stealer because she was flying overhead, but then she realized that she was on the back and she steered away or like called an audible last second. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that again.
Yeah, I think one of them definitely saw Rhaena
Jace
on
for
there.
sure did because he was
I'd
like,
have to see it again.
that's his sister, her sister, or he said something like that. Obviously, he's gone, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
so he ain't gonna be able to reveal that. Yeah,
Because I feel like she would have said that, like Rhaena or Bela.
yeah, unless she's trying to cover for her sister.
Could be,
Yep, either she didn't know or she's trying to cover for her sister because she thinks like obviously they'll kill my sister.
Well, they definitely knew that because Rhaenyra told Daemon when she was in like her room, she said Steep Stealer had a rider and didn't say her name. So
yeah, and Daemon almost didn't believe it because he was like,
wild.
Sheep Stealer's a wild dragon. They haven't been able to be tamed forever.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we can kind of get into the main kind of part there where Daemon and Rhaenyra fly into King's Landing there and take the throne.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be some kind of catch there. I thought they were going to get caught off guard by something, but not really. They flew right in.
Allison kept her word.
Yep, they had Ulf and
Hugh Hammer.
Yeah, Ulf and Hugh Hammer. They flew their dragons. Daemon just told them to circle above and just keep an eye out for anybody coming in.
Not very trustworthy.
Yeah, and then
them?
Yeah, those two guys seem like sketchy because they left where they were supposed to be at already. Like they left early. So
yeah, they did say Harrenhal was, or at least Ulf, like the other guy. He was saying like they was freaking him out, like something's weird going on at Harrenhal, and it was like those episode 1 with that. Was that sheep dude or goat dude? Yeah, that was weird. I think that's gonna come back later.
And for sure. And they saw the witch. So
She
that kind of spooked him off. And then obviously Adam of Hall, he flew off and left and went on his own because he was like, I'm gonna go find
Corlys.
Try and find Corlys and Alan. So he obviously was flying there. So they just dipped and didn't man their post, which Daemon obviously got on him for that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm curious of them in battle too, because they obviously never flown in battle.
Yeah, I could see them like really screwing something up here. Like especially if like Vagar's flying in, I could see them really screwing something up because they're just circling, kind of like keeping guard like sentries while Rhaenyra and Daemon are in there taking the throne. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they'll screw something up somehow here, or they'll switch sides. Like Ulf to me seems kind of flaky. Hugh Hammer seems a little bit more reliable and trustworthy, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I fully trust Ulf. But yeah, that was basically Rhaenyra and Daemon just go in there and they just storm King's Landing and they just literally take the Iron Throne basically for free. They were going through. They found a little bit of resistance going through. Like Daemon obviously had to fight some of the Kingsguard in there.
Yep, troops in there.
Yeah,
that were still loyal to the High Towers.
Yep, and then when they get into the throne room, they obviously the Kingsguard fully stand up to him, and it seems like they're cornered. But then the City Watch floods in.
The Golden Cloaks.
Yeah, and then they're kind of outnumbered. Like the Kingsguard are outnumbered, and then we don't know if Rhaenyra and Daemon are cornered or if somebody's going to help them out. And then obviously the City Watch pledges fealty to Damon.
Yep.
Because in season 1, that was Damon's job. He got assigned like the head of the City Watch.
Yep. So
So they're loyal to him. They basically get the Kingsguard to stand down, and then they go down into the. That's when they go looking for Aegon.
yeah, down in the dungeon or in the rooms, and then going down the dungeon because that Maester told him that Aegon fled, so they were looking kind of for anybody. And then good old
big Otto, finally making a return. Yep, I've been waiting for that.
And Laris did, secretly kind of lock him away. So I don't think we were kind of talking in the episode if Alicent knew he was down there. I don't think she did.
I don't think anybody knew he was down there for the most part.
And Laris again playing like the long game.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
Kind of as a gift for Rhaenyra, kind of calculated that. So
had Otto stored down there just in case Rhaenyra and Daemon ever returned. So and then obviously Daemon brought him up there. He said the rats are getting bigger.
Yeah. And when he saw him, he was like laughing in the window.
Yeah, we thought something sketchy was going to happen there because he goes walking through that dark, small hallway with that torch, and we were like, it seems like he's about to get hit over the back of the head here. But and then he takes him up into the throne room to kind of get confronted there by Rhaenyra.
Said to take his fate, or take his life for Aegon.
It was kind of shocking to me because I thought Otto, when he returned, would return in a big moment and have much bigger of a role to play, but no, not at all. I guess not, because they just basically used him as like a sacrifice for Rhaenyra. Because Daemon was obviously telling Rhaenyra, like, you've got to take his head yourself because you got to prove, like, show to everybody's here watching.
Yeah.
So you got to give them a visual here. But I think, as you said, Sean, when we were watching the episode, I think most of those people wanted to see Otto die because they started coming up and like crowding around and getting a closer look. It was pretty funny. Otto didn't want Rhaenyra to do it because he was like, I don't want to just be hacked at. I'd rather have Daemon do it because it'll be clean death. But she only missed once. She hit kind of him high on the back, and then the second swing, she took his head off.
Yeah, and then Daemon took that Jasper's head, like that.
It took it clean off. Literally didn't even get 2 words out.
Yep, and then it ended with Alicent coming in.
Yep.
Seeing that.
Yep. Well, Rhaenyra takes the Iron Throne.
Yep.
She goes up and takes her seat. And then that was really good cinematography, that one shot in Otto's blood, and it was Rhaenyra climbing the stairs to the Iron Throne. Yep, that looked really good.
So any truce I think that Alicent had with Rhaenyra is gone.
She just does not trust them at all anymore now. And Rhaenyra was almost crying in a way, and she was shocked to see Alicent come in there because she was like, oh man, what did I just do type of thing.
Yep. Now it's the games begin.
Yeah. It's like all gloves off at this point because Jace is dead and now Otto's dead. So Rhaenyra is just like off her rocker.
Aemon's like injured now, so we'll see how that goes.
Yep, I didn't even think Daemon would be able to get Rhaenyra mentally together to go to King's Landing. Yep, because you saw her like in the bed, so distraught about Jace being dead. So I don't know, it's getting interesting. Yep, it definitely picked up the pace for that last episode. I figured Rhaenyra, that plan would work somehow, and she would get the Iron Throne. I just didn't think it would be in episode 2.
Yeah,
like I thought that would be an end of the season type of thing, and then shit would really pop off in season 4 with like the whole Dance of Dragons and everything. But
I'm glad it's already going.
Yeah, I'm glad we're keeping on this pace. I did see the something somewhere. I saw somewhere on social media the writers or the directors of the show had said that they felt episodes 3 and 4 of this season were the best episodes.
Oh, really?
Or they're most exciting to shoot. Like they were.
See, episode 4 in each season so far has been like a banger episode. Like 4 in season 2 was that whole battle with Rhaenys dying with her dragon. And I think episode 4 in the first season was pretty big too. I forgot what exactly happened, but it's kind of like episode 9 in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I was about to say in Game of Thrones, episode 9, that second to last episode of the season was always a banger until obviously season 7 and 8. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I like the pace that it's on.
I do like those talking scenes though. Like a lot of people might, but it's just in this show at Game of Thrones, like it makes those action scenes like hit way harder because you're just getting a lot of backstory. And, like,
you need some
character
and world building. Yeah, you need some
connection.
Yeah, you need them to connect in some sort of way, or you need to see like those Game of Thrones type like political moves to set up those big battles or those big character deaths. So yeah, it works. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a thumbs up down below. Please come back this time next week for our review of episode 3. Thanks again. Peace.